10. Who knows? Honestly, it all comes down to this. When it's all said and done, there will only be 3 making their way to Dubai. The plane, she's refueled, she's in the air, and that is actually quite a cruel flight path, to be honest. So your teams that want to move over to Georgia Pole, for example, they're going to have a difficult time. But nevertheless, in the previous rounds, we saw Gankstars go early and go to a completely different place.
We certainly did. We saw some incredible early action, and I'm waiting to see if we see any of that sort of aggression to begin with. A couple of teams heading out early. It looks like we are seeing a few teams.
We got those guys jumping out. We got Marciano Gaming jumping out. We got everybody jumping out of the plane right now.
Sounds like we have a
some
few people on our comms for a second. Not sure where that one's coming from, but either way, we do have it.
It's interesting.
It is very interesting.
It's unique.
To say the least.
Yeah, but it is the final, so we can put all that silliness aside. Gankstars are out and they are flying. They've got a long way to Georgia Pole. They can get cars, but they have to get away from Roshok, for example. They can land just beyond it towards the island on the west side. We see the first kill coming in very early. Someone just pistoled them down. These are the teams that landed towards the military base, I can imagine, as they're the first on the ground, first boots to land. And who walks away from this one?
Yeah, that's Team 6. That's Hectic getting involved there.
Yep.
They're on the Military Islands. Calaverse going down. We saw with the M4 in the kill feed. Team 19 fighting up against Taserface. Pachinki looking extremely busy. Body bag on the floor. Clay says thank you very much. I'll take whatever remains in there. There's also Team 8 here as well. So 3 teams already going at it over on Sosnovka. 4 players up for Team 8. That'll be the Zen Gamers. 4 up for Team 6. That'll be Team Hectic. Unfortunately, I think it's Team 19 Taserface that have been pulled apart, potentially losing 2 players. Yes, indeed. Nordic and Calaverse going down rather early. The first 2 victims here in game number 8.
Look how many players right now are around that Roshok school area. That's where it's scary. Teams are mostly looking for cars. They're probably trying to get vehicles to get out of there, but they might stick around and try and get loot. It looks like we are seeing Gankstars drop towards school itself. We have then Wildcard not far away from that, and these are top 3 teams as we speak.
That's pretty scary.
Uh-oh, in the field with the pistol.
Pachinki Fields might become
4 bullets.
Mac Danny's grave. Unfortunately, we'll get the reload on this. That should be an easy kill. No armor on the back. He's only 1 shot away from dying. Crosses the road. Finish that one off, son. Come on, you can do it. I believe.
There it is.
Shotgun kill in the kill feed as well. Back-to-back people will drop over here in Pachinki. Several teams. Team 17. Derek's killers. They've been the comrades of Pachinki so far.
Oh, the disrespect as well.
Beat him. Beat him. Hoyd's down as well, unfortunately. That could be the final player. Wi-Fi will fall. That could be a separate play from a different team altogether then. That should be the 3rd player going down. Finds him upstairs, Hotted. Bites the dust. And the other is the walking wounded outside. So 3 players have gone. That will be the final player remaining, unfortunately, for Hotted Squadron.
Let's look at the big boys. Josh P makes a mistake, goes downstairs. That was on the military island. That's all kicking off. You've seen Clay picking up a kill as well towards Remix as Night Owl finds Josh P, confirming what already started. Metal maybe trying to find a way to get back in this, but got to be careful. It's still 3rd person, so you don't know where people can see what they're doing. Baiting on the door, though. Oh, look who's on the other side. There's a whole lot of players around this area. This is very, very scary. Zen Gamer's got to keep cool under the pressure now. Oh, Night Owl, this position, he's trying to bait it out. He's trying to wait for them to go inside, and let's see if he's up to the challenge. Then Lee has already found 1. Clay just dodging away. There's Night Owl still around as well.
That should be a 4 versus 1 scenario.
Yeah, Hectic. The remaining member has to get out of there now.
Swift by name, swiftly evacuating the scenario by nature. Last player on his team. K98 on the back. And what looks to be a disco plate as well with the DP. Level 2, level 3. So he's actually bloody well geared, to be honest with you. So there's no need to take any of those engagements. Try and pull yourself up that leaderboard as quickly as possible. Just be careful that where you're running, you're not running into the open arms of Team 19 that will be lurking in the wind. That's Taserface. Team 12, you can see. Foul play, SolidFPS, Mimo exclusive. Mr. Flip there down in Promos. They're the only ones really outside the circle, bar Team 14, which would be the Sharifo squads.
Team 10 just rocked up towards the 1 member of the Gankstars who went out this way. Zute is very much out on his own, and he's been caught out a couple of times now. He's got to be very cautious about this one. He might have to try and dip out of here. If he gets rolled up on, you don't want to start losing out on points.
You've got to remember, Lauren, this team is the one that was shouting in the pre-game and
That's
getting
true.
pretty hyped.
That
They're
is
ready
true.
to, I think they're ready to probably just lay down the smackdown.
Yeah,
They know that
Zute's out of there. He's like, no,
Yeah.
that's no, not worth it.
Because there's obviously a certain aspect to this game where there are teams who know that they absolutely cannot win. There's no way for them mathematically to do it. So for them, why not just have some fun? Why not just get stuck in and try and get as many kills as possible?
Could do. There's plenty of room for it. You see a couple of teams in interesting positions as well. You've got Lights Out over by Northern George. You've got those guys in the southern side. But this central circle gives everyone a good bit of play here. No one's in a mad rush.
Gates have been surrounded by G25. Sam gets the first initial pick. He'll confirm the kill. 15 points moving to Sam.
And considering the pressure that's been put on towards Team Gates, they've really stepped up to the plate so many times now.
Let's open up a little gap in the avenue here. Please move forward. Is that a Saiga? A silent Saiga?
Still thick as ever.
I mean, if you've got a shotgun, I don't think there's any real need to try and silence it.
Wait, hold on, Reg. I've just seen something.
Oh, wow.
Look at Team 17, or at least one of the players from Team 17. Derek's Killers have a member on Spawn Island.
Oh.
Do you know how far that is?
Especially with the blue, that's a fair distance. Hello.
It's good loot out there. You used to be able to get some really good loot and boat in and out.
Is it actually Derek himself?
I'm actually hoping
The
it
real
is.
Derek Killer, please stand up.
The rest of his team is in Pachinki as well. That's the best part. He's like just out exploring, just having a good time on the map. That's pretty wild.
Hey guys. Turns up M24. Or just finds everything over there.
Anything you need, yeah. On J7, got to be careful. There's a lot of players over this way. We know that Pachinki has been locked down a lot. And speaking of the Derek's Killers side, I think the rest of the team's over this way.
It'd be ironic if he managed to get the 1 versus 3 here and then...
Just baffled. Where's the last guy? Is he close? You get that paranoia, don't you?
Yeah.
Like, wait, there's got to be that final player somewhere. And
the insurance policy on up on the Spawn Island.
Yeah.
I tell you what as well, this circle, that is one very central circle. This completely slows down the game.
Yeah. No one has to make mad adjustments, basically. Good and bad. You get a slower start, but then mid-late, it does get a little bit scary. Wait.
Hold on.
Where are Gankstars going?
Hold on. So...
Have they just gone late towards Lights Out?
Genuinely think that one team's following the other here. Maybe Lights Out are on the hunt.
No, Lights Out went to Northern Georgia Pod to start with.
Oh, so they took the early
and
rotation
then
and went up
Gankstars
there.
went to school, and they've gone up there late game?
They took the vehicles. Yeah, it's...
And they have some stuff, because they went to school. They have some bits and pieces, but what is this sort of strategy? I thought they'd adjusted and just gone, all right, we'll stick to school as that seems like a decent enough place for us, but this is a really strange way of playing it out.
I mean, they're taking the very back corner, right? You wouldn't expect anyone to be here, so they'll be able to get some loot and loot through it. They're obviously very close to the circle as well, so if they want to play the blue, they can do.
But the risk is you're running up on a team who's already there. And they have no information on it. They're playing blind, and it's a risky time to start putting the blinkers on yourself.
We'll keep an eye on that and see how it unfolds. Initial drop comes in. Just to the left-hand side of Potato Hill, Team 9 might have the eyes on the prize, the red smoke in the distance. We'll point the location. They do have vehicles, but Team 16 in the back foot, Hammer Esports, they'll also be able to know where that is.
Yep.
Have a quick check-in, see how those guys are doing.
It sounds so weird to say those guys still. That is their team name. We're not just messing around. And again, in these seconds, while the timer begins to tick away and the circle will move in eventually, this is when you guys at home should get on Twitter. This is when you should be talking to us about who you think is in that top 3. Is it going to stay as it is? Is it in this position? Do you think there's change? Do you think maybe the old Gankstars are going a little crazy in that final game? Use the hashtag PMSC. I want to know what you guys think at home, because you guys always have strong opinions. So, I mean, let us know.
We've got a few minutes. I've got to say, being a part of this has been amazing so far. It's nice to see
insane.
See a different scene and how the players are. It's obviously a very well developed scene that's only going to get bigger. I mean, PUBG Mobile in itself is absolutely massive. The game is potentially the greatest mobile game I've ever played.
Derek's Killers are up there as well. This is really weird. They're so weirdly split across the map. They're in Southern Georgia Pod now.
It's bizarre.
Very odd, but also Gankstars are getting very close to Lights Out.
Surely they know. I mean, they're not stupid. They're going to...
But Wildcard are also up there too. I don't know what's going on. A lot of these teams are going to very, very weird positions right now, to say the very least. This is not a normal way of playing.
In before, they're just trying to send them home in 20th.
Oh my lord. If
Knock
there's
them
been
off the leaderboard.
some sort of allegiance made.
Kill them.
There we go. There they know at least one team's out there. They know those guys are out there. And I think Beowulf's aware there could be someone here. You can see him leaning, so he's not an easy shot. Smart would play it. Kar 98 in hand. Grimes ain't far from this.
Hang on, Lauren. That's another member from Derek's squad. So
yes.
You have Derek himself on the spawn island.
Yes.
You have one member in crates.
Yes.
And then you have two in Pachinki.
Correct. They're not in Pachinki anymore. I don't know what's happening, Richard.
Help.
This is not normal behavior from any of these squads. I don't know if they're just trying to gun for Gankstars, because there's a lot of people set up towards Georgopol. We've seen the wildcards have gone north. Well. I don't know what's happening. It looks like they're hunting Gankstars. If you want to be purely from that perspective, I don't know why else this many teams would go to northern Georgopol. I want to know what's happening with these teams, like the theory behind it, because it doesn't make sense. Look at them all set up here. You've got teams on the southern side. You've got Team 11, which is Girthy Dingo, sat on the road towards the north. You've got Wildcard sitting further north. There's no easy way out of here for Gankstars. They're going to get at least spotted potentially by one or two teams. I just don't know why they're doing this in the final game. This is very, very weird gameplay coming out.
So they have 3 vehicles. They'll be able to opt and get out of this one. You do have to be aware that set up on the road, though, there is a team directly in front of the Gankstars.
Derek G, what are you up to? The Girthy Dingoes will be the first test that these guys need to get past, and they're going to hear them in these hills.
They're set up right in front of them. Can we go back on that POV? I want to see these vehicles they move through. See if any knocks come out from the Gankstars. They're about to pass Team 11 just on the edge on the circumference of this circle. They will dip down south, so they might be able to bypass that gunfight.
Yeah, but who else is going to be up there? They've got past one of them, and now you've got the rest of Wildcard still up in the northern territory. This whole northwestern side is really baffling to me, considering the circle is potentially going to go east. It has as well. A lot of these teams have taken themselves out of a good spot to potentially go hunting.
It's intriguing. How feels bad would it be now if Gankstars got hit by the red zone?
Oh, no, don't say it.
I don't mean to jinx it, but it'd certainly make things interesting. They've got vehicles. It doesn't drop the bomb until, you know, at least a few seconds, so you can get across there easily. They
should be fine. We are seeing the S9 teams with a little bit more time on their hands, but there's been pressure from 2 teams here, so it's not like they have all that time to relax and rest on this one. And with all that said and done, Gankstars have gotten out of there. I'm just really confused as to why so many teams went towards that northwestern side.
It is a bit weird, but I suppose with third person, you play a little bit different anyway. You play a slightly different game. Plus, everyone's going to be really cautious and really...
Yeah.
They don't want to go down early, and this is why we're seeing some weird and wonderful plays. I mean, hell, Derek and his boys, they're playing cross-country at the moment. It's very bizarre. All of Gankstars do get out unscathed, though. They have vehicles, and they're all together. They're just moving in from Roshok.
All right, guys, let us know what you think. What are your theories to this? Use that hashtag PMSC. Why did so many teams just gravitate late, early circle northwest? I want to know your thoughts, so please let us know. I'm curious what you expect here, because there's going to be some weird positioning now coming out where teams had good initial spots and they've moved themselves around. They've kind of switched things up here. Now, it might just completely reset as this continues to go forward. There's still 20 teams alive, so there's still plenty of room for that.
You can really feel the gravity of how much is riding on this games. This is literally life and death going towards Dubai. Wildcard, they're opting to take a really big split, move apart. They've got vehicles they can play off of. They're coming down from Severna. They'll be taking that northern edge of the circle. Gankstars have already got in there set up around Roshok. They can continue looting. If the loot's not good, they can literally pick up a ton of it more. Team 4, Team Gates, currently #1 spot coming into this final round. They're on the move as well. They'll come down from Yasnaya. They also have vehicles. Don't think they'll opt to move towards Roz. They might hit one of the dirt roads, sit around the side. Bushwalkie in play. What's on the back? It's a 249, big boy gun. LMG be able to wipe a team if he finds any. Team 7 up at the top as well. We'll see G25. No one's opted to take a fight with them. They've left them be, so they're controlling Yasnaya to themselves and they're still inside the circle. Plenty of loot. Team 14, Team 11 looking towards Sharifo, and also Girthy Dingoes. They'll come down along the eastern bank. Finally, the final teams to kind of make it in. Your Stranglers, would you have it? Taserface, they'll come in from the west side. Team 8, that'll be Zen Gamers. They'll move across the bridge, just making sure, taking it slow and passive, that no one's camping them. And then at the top, it's still all a little bit weird, Laura. Northwest, you've got four teams that are just lingering.
Let's get back onto the Dubai topic here of who can actually change things up. Obviously, that top 2 team position could flip potentially. That could change up quite easily, but both would still make it to Dubai. Let's now look down towards 3rd and 4th. That's where things get a little bit more fun. That's the underrated wildcard battle.
Yeah, wildcard 28-20, and then underrated 23-25. I mean,
and what that means
Lauren,
in simple terms is 33 kills would need to happen purely for points alone without any placement adjustments. That all sounds very boring. Essentially, at the core, underrated would need to kill wildcard, or someone needs to kill wildcard, and then underrated would need to go off. That's the long and short of it all. And here's Derek G making it back from the island.
I think even Marciano, they're only less than 150 behind.
They're not far off.
You know, underrated. If they came in with a win and went absolutely, you know, manic,
lights out. Yeah.
They would have to. They would literally have to kill half the server.
Now let's talk about where the positions are. If you want to look at underrated, if you're considering that, they are slap bang center of the circles. They're trying to position for it. It looks like they're trying to be in the right spot for it. But here's wildcard on the other side of things. They dipped in towards Saverni. They have a lot of players split out. Oh no!
Hello.
Oh, that's a bit of a disaster. This could open things back up. Look, they don't have a vehicle
they're all
now.
in the blue.
Oh, what a mistake has just happened. Lights out. What's happened here?
They
and now
have dropped
shots
the
come in.
ball.
Oh, what a fumble.
This is awful. They flipped the vehicle. They went for the couple of cheeky shots. Now they're outside in the blue. Lucifer's directly behind them all. They're already tanked up, Lauren, 50, 60% HP. This is devastating.
Let's hear from Wildcard. They've just seen the unthinkable happen in front of them. Let's tune in and listen what they're saying right now.
Yeah, just drove past me.
I'm gonna...
I threw smokes for you, Lucy, if you want to come.
Hold on. You want me to drive over there, dude?
Yo, I got bad feedback.
You put me in the blue. I'm gonna pick you up, Lucifer. See ya, just lay down suppressing fire.
Good, dude. Don't worry about it. Guys, just do what you need to do. Nah, dude, I gotta back you up, dude. I can't just...
You're not gonna die again on this. You know?
I'm gonna go with Jukes then. You got
Yeah, I got this space
They're
locked
gonna think
down.
they're gonna think he left, so I'm gonna drive away.
You good, dude?
Who is it? Do you know?
We haven't knocked anyone yet.
Yeah, they're lighting me up, dude.
There it is. They're not sure. They don't want to outstay the welcome. Already, though, they have found Hawkeye. So they're doing the work, but they are outside of the circle. So it's the choice of do we stay and fight, potentially pick up a couple of kills, or do we leave and save it down the line? But it looks like 2 of them have started to peel away. But they have left some players down there to potentially take this fight. And it looks like Lucifer might be pressing the issue. He certainly is. Hawkeye now confirmed killed. Skrilla might be on the chopping board next.
Going to get it with 10% HP, which isn't good. The smokes will go down, try and cause a distraction. Again, for Wildcard Gaming, this is easy points, but it's also potentially their demise. If they get turned on, if they get battered, and they go down in 19th, 20th place, it will be devastating. It will open up an avenue for Marciano and underrated as well. Right now, all 5 players up. They've got the meds, they've got the vehicles. They can just kind of peel from this one. There's no point in taking it. Just stay alive, lads. You're still in contention. You're still in the running here. Outside is
still doing this.
Yeah,
the thing is, they're getting points. This is getting them steps and steps and steps in the right direction. But Lucifer's gone. He's bailing on this guy. He's leaving his teammate behind here.
It's a ballsy play. It's an interesting play, to say the least.
Is one player dying to the circle worth picking up those points?
It's 60 in a placement jump, right?
I don't disagree. Outside does have a vehicle. That's pretty important here. Only one, I guess, first aid left as well, a med kit left, so he needs to make sure he uses that. But he's really cost this other team. The rest of his teammates can set up on the border anyway, but still, that's a very risky maneuver from them.
That might be the next play, just to wait them as they come out. They don't have any vehicles. They have to go for the...
Skrilla's died anyway.
Feels bad, man. They cause so much problems for them. They have no vehicles. They're lacking the utility. They're just going to have to spam the living hell out of meds and pray they can get back down here. Meanwhile, Wildcat, they'll go off on foot. Oh, excuse me. Off on a foot. Vehicles come down from the north. Team 20, Team 7, Team 11, they're all lurking around Yasnaya. Team 12, this will be foul play, catching a few people flying by. The whole point, whole position. Remember, you've got Solid at the helm. Played for TSM at a very high competitive level back on PC, so they'll know exactly where these very vital points are to hold down, perpendicular to where the circle's going to be flying around.
Now, this is where underrated could start getting into the battle again. Pachinki Bandits, I think they've been confirmed done for. First team down. Lucy's just been caught. What? Lucifer's just gone.
That's his vehicle.
That's a problem. This becomes the issue. They took a risk early on. Now this opens it up. If we see underrated start going off, they're very central, good position, but they need to find fights. If they start getting kills and kills and kills, you know, wiping squads, that's the big story. You can see them, they're very close, but this southern side, this compound fight is about to get very tricky. And they're breaching this one. Zen Gaming, they're playing out of their minds here.
Zen will push in. The players, Team Fanny, just in the same compound. 16 behind them. The Hammers will be able to get at least an eye line on this to see where they're going to be pushing from. Initial push goes in. You can see they've worked it up the stairs. One player's already fallen. Make that two now. Working as a duo unit. Eliminating the first few players to at least get the push through. Alchemy in the kill feed onto Sneaky. Sneaky getting a taste of his own medicine from the previous round. Bullet. He'll move on to Rewind as well, Beckham. Then in straight into Lee. He's down. Fandy also falls victim. This is mental. One player remaining here, Lauren.
I would not want to be in his shoes at the moment. This gets very scary. Your whole team has just been dismantled. I don't know how he's going to deal with this one. He wants to go into the action. Night Owl needs to try and do something to save the rest of, well, what he has left here. But you can see on the other side, players not in much of a better spot either. Hearing players left, right, and center. Shuts the door, tries to hunker down the hatches.
The opposing side, we do have two teams going at it as well. The Hammers have taken a bit of a beating so far. Grenade goes through. In fact, that's a 2-for-1. He's got a kill and a knock, so now they can breach in this and finish them off. Take this away from the Hammers. Lay the hammer down right back onto them. Another player. Animosity, he falls. The spray's there. It's the turn. It's real. They're dead. They're gone. They're buried. The end of the line here for Hammers Esports. They're out of the competition.
And that's underrated, getting kills. Now we need to keep tabs on that one. They moved away. They were very close towards Gankstars, who went very central. New circle, southeast. Plenty of teams still up, 17 to be precise, 52 players. We are starting to see Wildcard again, kicking into things. They're racking up the bodies. They're not going to slow down for a second, but they're not going down without a fight. We're seeing a bit of a battle here.
This is amazing, picking up more kills along the way. They've got a knock there, but that's fine. They can at least get him back up. Fandy's gone as well. 16 individual teams remain, 48 players alive on Erangel. Lucifer, I'm intrigued to see exactly what happened with him earlier on. We saw the vehicle explosion. He must have been just caught off guard and tagged up by several different angles.
Underrated could be potentially pushed here as well. You can see a lot of players nearby them in that sort of Potato Hill area. Sixless going to be finding Thunder. This is a problem. This could be them going down quite early on here. They need to stay alive so badly. Gankstars could start racking up the bodies, but it's actually Zute who's found them.
This is underrated. This is in fourth. This is a team that's potential for going for the Dubai. Lauren banks it off, sees him. Probably going to try and follow that up with the Molotov, and I think that's them potentially. No, still one player remaining. Beowulf says no. Buries him in the back lines. Another team's turned up to the party as well.
There's so much going on here. It looks like Lights Out aren't far away from this either. You can see them in the back lines, but it's all going pretty much as badly as it could be for Underrated. They wanted to get central, they wanted to get in the fight, and now they felt the force of it. They left one man standing. He's further south. He was not here anymore. We can see Gankstars well and truly up for a fight, nading out, looking for any potential victims. Lights Out looked like they went to maybe try and get towards Gankstars early on, and now they might be meeting their maker.
This is incredible. Gankstars have just stepped up to the plate. They've seen the prime position that they want, and now they're just removing it from the clutches of anybody who's up there. Underrated. Fourth place coming into this. They were looking so good, but they have just been picked apart and completely battered. One player left. The emergency situation has to run away, and he still has two teams directly in front of him, and he's not in the circle either. This is crunch time. Everyone's rotating. Everyone wants to get stuck in. Potato Hill is about to become a slaughter.
Yeah, it really is. G-Bay's going to need to play this one so smart as well. You can see Marciano Gaming still racking up bodies as well. G25 feeling the full force of that one. Those two have been going at it back and forth the entire time too. So now let's quickly switch on board with Night Owl. He seems to have made it away from that situation, but for how long? He's been spotted by the Underrated player. That's G-Bay still in this fight, still trying to stay relevant, still trying to put up numbers, but that blue's on his back pretty soon. So if he wants to get the job done, he wants to rack up points, he has to start. They've got 5 kills this round. They need a lot more.
This isn't good. He does have a vehicle, but I mean, how damaged is it? How many meds does he have? What can he really do? A one-man band against this absolute mess of a situation.
Wait, look how many teams are about to go towards Gankstars.
This is so
Look
scary.
at Gankstars right now. Look at that map. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, this could be all but over. Clay goes down. G-Bay is still doing everything he can. He wants to be the last man standing here. He's going to try and fight with everything he has. Beowulf takes down one. They are being pushed in from every single side. Look at this entire litter of teams marching towards Gankstars who hold the hill. It's King of the Hill time. They need to hold on to this.
Grenades are going up from the opposing side. We saw from G-Bay. He gets it as well. Clay's
Confirmed.
down.
That's another 6 kills. They need to keep going, though.
Can he just see him? Spots him on the angle. He doesn't realize. He's looking at a dead body there. Doesn't quite see him. He's not really in a great position to make a push on this one. Remember, he's the last man standing for his team. How far can he drag them?
Here we go, Team 10.
Trying to get kills, Lauren, but
Winsanity.
needs position.
Rich, they were loud as you like. Let's see if they can be quietened down when they do meet up with the Gankstars. Dragoon with a great shot, tags up Zute. Gonna force him off the angle. Dragoon could push this if he fancies it, but it's a risky play. There's so many teams nearby. You have Marciano Gaming not far off either, and this is the third party coming in. Everyone is ganging up on the Gankstars here.
Two teams looking straight down the barrel. They've got eyes on them. Gankstars, you see Fury, he's dropped. They might be able to get the res off here, but Team 10 is in for the fight. They fancy a piece of this one. 4 times on the back of the AKM. 7.62, that's a DP and an AKM. That could be a banger of a grenade. It's in. Will he get any of them, though? That's the bigger question.
Does not find its place. Hot Jukes in the meantime finding kills. That's still going on. Fat Boy there trying to get the revive on his teammate, get him back up and ready to fight. Parker looking for an angle, but it's all just being held together by Gankstars. They have 3-4 teams coming their way. Hot Jukes again finding Richie. Wildcard going off here. Zute deciding to maybe go for a little bit of a fight. He's got players in front of him though. He's got to be so cautious. Team 15, Marciano Gaming, already proving their worth here, already proving they can do something. G-Bay fighting as the lone assassin as best he can. He's racked up kills though. He's still putting in work.
He's doing well for his team. While everyone else is dying around him, he's managed to make it up the leaderboards into top 12. Can he see that top 10? Ever Fury wants to get involved and help his teammates out. Look at that. Look at all the teams. 5, 3, 10, 17. It's just a mass amount of players just converging around this, but it's go time. Everyone's got to move forward. Zute finds Derek. He's down. He's dead. Mimo finds Koto. Sam onto Keijo. Beowulf finds Spooby. Sam back again. The answer back is real. An outsider comes from nowhere. Finds Wine. Playzone takes Marciano. Koto, he's down and dead as well. Mimo with the sniper rifle is doing so much work.
And somehow the Gankstars are still in this one. We're down to 10 teams here. There's 27 players alive, and that northwest side is not relenting. Look at these guys. How are they still standing, Gankstars? They've had fights on every single angle. Hector, though, wants to try and get into this. Beowulf feels the brunt of that. The Scar there tears him up, but the rest of Gankstars still stand. The heal comes in. Can they keep surviving? A nade from Zute tries to alleviate some of the pressure. Hector spraying in, hoping for something. Oh, and he gets turned off. Zute delivers the bullet to the brain, and SolidFPS out nowhere.
Random headshot comes in with a 16 upside on the hill. Sam wants to get involved as well. That's the mini. Look at that circle. It's so small for 27 players. Picking people up on the outskirts. Beowulf does go down. Hector, he's dead. His team's gone. 3 members here from TG. They're still alive. Beowulf, he's crawling. He's begging for help. The smoke's around. They might be able to get the res.
8 teams.
Outsider. One. How many players were that still up? All 4 here for SolidFPS's roster, and 5 kills in the bag. They're the random team that's causing all kind of problems. They were out in 6th.
They are for now, but that new circle could put them in a very bad spot. You're going to see, again, Gankstars having to run the gauntlet time and time again. No rest for the Wicked. G-Bay's still alive somehow, surviving on his own, doing everything he can to try and keep his team in with a shot for that top 3 position. Everyone fighting to get to Dubai. Wildcard going off at the moment. They've had fights every single step of the way. 12 kills they've got in this game. That's a huge performance. Hot Juice again. This is his kill feed. He's writing the obituary. G-Bay's gone down. It looks like we might know our top 3, but we're going to hold off. Wildcards still have everything to fight for, everything to prove, and they are not relenting for a second.
They're not giving up in any means, shape, or form. Ever Fury, time to ruin. Beowulf's down. He might be dead as well. This could be all kinds of problems. Look at the Wildcard. They're sitting and waiting. They know these players have to push into them. Now all of a sudden, SolidFPS and the boys, they're feeling the full force here.
Zute's gone down to the zone as well. This is Gankstars looking like they are down to their last limb. Ever Fury is alive, but For how long can he stay here? Wildcard have lost a player, gets knocked. There's still so many threats aboard. 6 teams stand, 13 players, a lot of very powerful individuals. Zute confirmed killed. 1 man left for Gankstars, it's Ever Fury, and we still have some big names in this fight. Team Gates still have so many players up.
Mr. Flips down. That's Rolex with another 15 points for his team. Team Gates still racking them up on the side. Ever Fury, though. Remember, first place from this takes away $20,000. Gates are top of the board at the moment. What can Fury do on his own? SolidFPS spots 1. Easy kill for him. That should be a nice cleanup and 15 points in the bag. That'll
Ever
keep
Fury
pushing.
Just went down.
Oh, that's
game
potentially
on now.
second place there for Gankstars. We'll see how this unfolds to wildcard gaming. They need an absolute ton of kills, and they're doing it, Lauren.
They are pushing with everything they have. Hot Jukes gets the peak. He's going to make the call that here comes the opponents. We have the likes of Team Gates at our doorstep. Can we control it? Can we handle it? The answer is yes so far. Outsider with the shot.
That's incredible. Smoke skull down. He might be able to at least make a window of opportunity for him to crawl across, getting back up and take 3 players into the final circle. 15 kills, though. 15 kills and guaranteed top 5. That's amazing. Grenade from the side. Will it connect? Yes, it does. It gets a tap. Again, Solid. This snake in the grass just
doing so
knocking
good.
out individual players left, right, and center. We're down to the top 4.
We certainly are. 8 players stand now. Keep in mind, Team Gates has a whole lot of players still up, but they are fighting with everything against Wildcard. Revive being made. That's risky as anything. We could see some spoilers coming in here. Some individual players. Gertie Dingo still have a man.
Still going.
SolidFPS doesn't know when he's dead. He's got so many kills to his name. We're down to 3 teams. We know who it is by now. It's Team Gates standing. It's Wildcard, and in their way is Foul Player's player. It's SolidFPS. Now, we're going to see Wildcard make the first strike here. And now as the reply, Gut once more. He's going to see Carnage, but can he get the shot through?
Pause for a second. Taps come through. Rolex catches him on the right-hand side. Silent 16 grenades there. Will that flush anybody out, though? That's the bigger question. Yes, it does. It connects with Carnage. That's huge.
And SolidFPS wants to steal all these points, but oh, he's gone down!
Stolen.
Outsider, all these guys fighting. Oh, my God.
That is incredible.
Wildcard, what a game from them. They lost Lucifer early, they fought against the odds, and they pushed it all the way to the end.
A win, Lauren, and 19 freaking kills. They were in 3rd place. They might have just gone flying up that leaderboard. What a sterling performance, because when you look towards Team Gates, they only have 3 kills. I have no idea in what position everyone's going to be ending. I think we know as top 3, but only the admin team can guarantee us who has got the money.